Hello, my name is Roxangeli Cortez, and I'll be providing a progress report on our risk management process improvement project. Here we can see a timeline of our progress report. In green, what we've completed so far, in orange, what's in process, and in purple, what we will be starting soon. Okay, so items that we've completed include forming the governance team. So this is a team with members from our GOE, which is our Global Operations Engineering, and our PLM, Product Lifecycle Management teams. And we have a representative from each of our three business units. These team members or representatives, they took back the proposal to their individual teams and got feedback to the main team. So this way we reviewed the process, then took it up to management for a final approval, right? And some of the changes that were made to the process include starting to evaluate risk from a pre-concept phase. So our launch programs include concept definition, development, validation, deployment, and sustaining phases, right? So we want to start looking at risks or identifying risks even at the pre-concept stage so we can influence the design early on in the process, right? We also wanted to provide training and introduce the NUD technique, which is a technique to analyze risks based on them being new, unique, different, or difficult. So as part of our training material, we're going to go in depth on this way to analyze risks and better identify them so people can manage risks better. Also, we want to link our risk management process to the lessons learned database. Our company already has a lessons learned database, which is basically when we solve the issues, we have a page where we update it with anything that we learned in order to promote continuous improvement, right? So we want to link any risks that had a lesson learned, or we also want to provide access to the people that are reviewing the risks to other risks that were assessed and any lessons learned that were obtained from that, right? And also, we're introducing the cause if then problem statement. So when we identify a risk, we want to make sure to have a sentence or a paragraph that explains it, right? So we want to have three parts. We want to have the cause or the reason. We want to have the if. Um, so that would be, and also the then. And this is including the bad thing that could happen and the consequence that would come from it. So also in our training material, we want to introduce these steps and make sure that the risks are defined as such. Okay, so continuing our completed items, we have a tool that we're going to be developing or that we're in the process of developing in order to have a database to update all our risks there, right? Because currently our teams are working on an Excel file that they're updating manually and keeping track of it individually. So we want to have this tool available to include all the risks and have so that everyone in the business can have access to it, and not just wait for a program manager to provide updates, right? And this tool, after analyzing and investigating, is going to be done in Microsoft Power Apps. We want to have a add risk view, which is composed of the Excel file that I was mentioning previously. And we're going to have a template in the tool so people can input whatever is in the Excel file, which includes the description of the risks, the mitigation plan, the mitigation due date, the risk type. And we also want to add to that trigger and trigger date, which are concepts that we will also be introducing as part of our process, which is basically a sign that tells us when we can begin our mitigation plan. So that trigger that will start off our mitigation plan. We also have been manually updating risk status charts, and we want to make that part of our tool. Um, We also calculate the risk score, which is a mix of the likelihood and potential impact a risk can have. So we're introducing to the tool to calculate that score automatically after the user inputs the individual scores. Okay. And ongoing items include twice a week meetings of our main team, our governance team, daily tool development meetings. We've upped it up to daily meetings because we want to release the tool by the initial version by May 2nd. We're also working on training material that we want to have finished by the 29th of April. And we're planning to provide update to the users and to the team in through the week of May 2nd and May 13th. Okay, and here we can see to the right an example of the charts that we're doing manually. So it basically presents the completion percentage of each product and its risks. And we want to make sure to kind of grab those risks that are updated into a tool and transform that into a chart instead of making that manually. So to conclude this progress report, our team is moving forward accordingly with the timeline. We're confident that we'll be able to release the initial version at the beginning of May and have the training material ready to promote that new process, that updated process to the teams, and make sure that they use the tool and they start updating their risks to it so we can obtain metrics from it and a one-stop shop to get updates on risks. So thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.